Welcome back, everybody, to another epic video. In this battle, we will have the forces of Lys and Mir clashing. On this side, we have the Mirish axemen, the great axe boys. They will be yeeting axes at their enemies and wielding them with their great oval shields. On the other side, we'll have the forces of Lys with their big axe boys. Same similar things, except these guys have got some nice two-handed axes. A lot more plate armor. I'm expecting this to not go the way of the Mirish, to be totally honest. So Mirish army on the left, the great lysine army on the right. Let's get into it. Sorry guys, getting a juicy thumbnail. Here goes the clash. The armies smashing against each other. This is looking epic, boys. Absolutely epic. I don't even have a clue who's going to win this, to be honest. We've got realistic battle mod on, 1,000 soldiers on either side. So whenever we have these battles, and we have like, hold on. We gotta edit the audio here a little. I think it's very, very loud. I'm gonna turn that down. It's very loud. Yeah. So whenever we have these battles, I've found that when any faction that uses flags on their units causes a lot of lag. To the point where the battles are almost unplayable at 1,000 versus 1,000. So we've dropped those battles back. But any of these battles where they don't have the big flags and it's running smoothly, we'll keep that going. Speaking of the battle, it looks like the enemy are being smashed here. The two-handed axes just breaking through the shield wall. These big, fat oval shields not quite able to keep up, and the lysine army has split the Mirish army in two. Fighting them on two fronts now, but with way more numbers on their side. The balance of power bar definitely showed us who was in favor here, but oh, this is an absolute slaughter, boys. Damn. Damn. So after this battle, guys, we're going to have their archer round and their cavalry round. If you weren't aware of how it works, they have to win a best of 3. So 2 rounds means that they've won, and they'll be moving on in the tournament to face the previous bracket winners. We're actually doing 2 factions in this video today. 4, sorry. 2 different bracket runs so that we can speed up the tournament. We're going to have these guys, and then we're going to have House Tyrell versus... I'll have to check that in a second for you. And it looks like a victory for the forces of Lys. Alright, let's move on to the cavalry round and see who has the more superior horsemen. Alright everybody, round 2 and the great cavalry battle will begin. Oh boys, this is going to be juicy. We've got neither side has really like a noble cavalry line. So we're seeing the forces of Mir on this side with their cavalry, and the forces of Lys over here. They once again appear to be more heavily armored than the forces of Mir. I think this might be an L for the Mirish, to be honest. Nice little wedge formation formed up there, trying to jam their way through. Oh, the lysine forces just pushing their way through here, just with sheer brute force. The Mirish attempting to hold them, but I don't know how well it's going to go for them. Oh, okay. They're starting to split off and do their thing. Going to go for some cycle charges more than likely. Now, the next 2 factions we'll have after these guys is going to be House Tully versus House Tyrell. So we'll have a Riverlands versus the Reach battle going up next, and whoever wins that will be the opponent of the winner of this round, which may be Lys. I think Lys actually has the better cavalry, better archers too. I think they use crossbows though. I got to remember to turn the RBM off for that. That's okay. That's all right. Alrighty, look at him go. Oh, that poor man just got absolutely skewered. Getting into the thick of it, the boys are super spread out. Their commanders are still intact, I believe. That's right, they've got commanders this time. Although I don't know if we can even see them on the map. But hey, that's a thing. The balance of power here isn't completely in favor of the Lys, of the lysine. The Mirish may actually be doing quite well here, just because neither of them has a super professional cav force. However, the lysine did split off into 2 groups and are now converging with a double envelopment. The same trick used to crush the wildlings by Stannis Baratheon. We see them going in, catching a lot of these poor Mirish soldiers off guard. The Mirish forming up for a charge on their flank now, trying to catch the enemy cav as they back off. Don't know if it's going to be enough. Don't really know who's winning this battle at this point. Get in there, lads. Hack 'em to bits. They're hacking, they're slashing. Very similar weapons, really. Sword and spear, sword, spear, and shield. No range. Very linear cavalry battle. I think because both their cav is honestly just so weak. This is why this is taking so long. Oh, need them to get stuck in. They're going for charges, but neither of them have like lances or any big charging weapons, so I don't see them getting much damage on each other with these big charges. Like, there is a couple of guys going down, but it's no drastic victory in any of these charges. Oh, bit of a fustercluck of soldiers over here. Men just getting struck down from their horses left and right. Oh, this poor fella, he's just going to get trampled. His sword disappearing into the abyss. The Mirish trying for another charge. A lot of them with their swords drawn instead of their spears. Probably realizing just how ineffective that is going for them. So many dead on the ground. That man's covered in blood. He has been absolutely battling. Two different sections of army forming up. The Lysine going for one more charge. I think they've almost worn down the enemy army here. Now, turned off. They don't really have any reinforcements coming this time because they're such a light cav force. I don't want this to stretch out too far. In our other ones, we've got, you know, people that have couched lances and things like that, so they do way more damage and you get a battle result much quicker. Oh my god. These boys. Alright, we're joining them. Now, riders of Rohan, for lord and land. Now is the hour. The day may come when we fall, but it is not this day. Okay, this guy might be dying, I'm not gonna lie. Somehow he is surviving so far. This is just hacking away at these boys. A lot of lonely horses riding over here. That guy doesn't even have a horse anymore. I think he's trying to chase that one. Alright, we prepare for another charge. Man, I'm so keen for the Lord of the Rings mod as well. That's going to be so cool. Dude went to chase a guy and then messed it up, so now he's trying to reform. Damn. Get me into this fustercluck of dudes. Yeah, I think... Let's have a look. It's really close. It's only about a 20 soldier difference. The Lysine are losing. Interesting. They're losing by about 20 men. So the Mirish cavalry is actually winning this. It's going to come down to the archers again. This is amazing. Not what I expected. I think the Mirish have a lot of crossbow units. The Lysine might be the same. I don't know. Now, I haven't seen a lot of dismounted Mirish soldiers. I've seen a few dismounted Lysine. Sorry, no, other way around. I've seen a lot of dismounted... Oh, this is going to be where the grindfest happens. Damn. They're trying to break away and do their charges, but... it's just soldiers freaking hitting each other at this point. All lined up. This is how you get your battle result quickly. Damn. Oh, Jesus, they have ground them down. They went from a 20 difference to a 50 soldier difference. That is going to be a big deal. More Mirish coming in for a flank, trying to finish off this center group. The Lysine trying to reform over here, but they're just being chased around at this point. They don't really have the forces necessary to win this battle, especially with how similar their units are. I do not expect a decisive victory here, but it will be a victory for the Mirish. Oh my god. I expected these boys with their heavier armor to do it, but... Oh, I say heavier armor, but our boys over here, they are wearing chainmail. It's not bad armor. What are these guys wearing? Okay, yeah, it's like a... not a brass... Like a dressed up leather almost. It's nice looking, but it's not necessarily strong. Mans is basically wearing robes that look like armor. Ay, ay, ay. They're riding so far away from each other. Look at all the horses just chilling. Like, have you seen my rider? Steven? Joey? Where'd you go, friend? Where you at? Oh, another charge. Let's go. In with the boys. And it's going to be another one of these grind fests, but we've already seen how this goes for the poor Lysine cavalry. They don't come off well. I think it's the scimitar. Like, I think the Mirish cavalry having their scimitars is actually winning this for them. That's a lord. The Lysine lord's still alive. Very shocking. Yeah, see, these guys they've just got a normal sort of arming sword, whereas the Lysine have a, like, full curved scimitar. And it's longer, so I feel like it's better for these sort of engagements. Oh, not the horse. This is why so many men are getting dismounted. Alright, they're down to 56. 53 on the side of the Lysine army. And I think a lot of the Lys cavalry over there is breaking. Yep, they're all running now. The morale's shattered. The forces of Lys have lost their cohesion and have been bested by the army of Mir. The cavalry has outdone them. Yes, cheer, brothers, for you definitely did better than your infantry counterpart. Let's jump over to the archer battle for these guys, shall we? Alright, men, the forces of Mir with their artisans of war. The great crossbow infantry, their noble troop line, against the Lysine elite archers. Now, I don't expect this to go well for Lys. Simply put, they don't have the best archers. They're like, you know, they're tier 2 sort of archers, tier 3s. They're not amazing. And when you compare them to a crossbow unit, I don't see it going well for them. Especially in this close proximity. They're all clustered together, and they're fighting a 1,000-strong army of crossbowmen. I expect the army of Lys to get clapped here as soon as these guys start firing. One force is taking a skirmish route, and the other one's just trying to close in and get shots off. I think once the shots actually start coming out, that the Lysine are going to start losing this. Although they're doing a good job of just pushing forward and making the Mirish archers scatter. But once you're in melee, they've got those same scimitars that wreaked havoc on the enemy before. Although they're in that loose formation as well, so they're gonna have to slowly melee through. This could go either way, to be totally honest. The Mirish would have had it if they just sat still and fired, but because they spread out so much, when it comes into a melee in the center here, there's not enough of them to support the others. So they're just getting slowly worked through, and it's just going no one's way. Like, these guys are just getting completely overwhelmed by sheer numbers. You still got some guys in the back line here firing. Damn. I take back everything I said. Although, oh no, I don't see them winning this. They've swapped sides over here, but I don't see the Mirish crossbows coming out on top of this. I thought for sure that the Mirish crossbows were going to win this battle. I am definitely wrong. It looks like the Lysine have crushed them and have taken the advantage in this battle. They've moved forwards in the tournament, boys. Alrighty. let's jump into some Tyrells versus some Tully boys. The flowers versus the fishes, boys. Let's do this. Alright, boys, here we go. We have 1,000 admirals of the Riverlands charging against 1,000 house guards of House Tyrell, led by Brynden the Blackfish and Garland the Gallant. Which of these epic forces will win out? Looks like the Tyrells are moving up with a very nice looking shield wall. Very pretty. It does appear to suit their little thing they got going. The Flower Knights being very beautiful. Look at them. Pretty little knights. Alright, and on the other side we have the Fish Boys, hungry for blood, carrying 2 swords. As Jaime Lannister said, I don't know why some knights seem to want to carry 2 swords. Makes sense, I guess, if one was to be disarmed, but here's an idea. Don't be bad enough to get disarmed. Very simple. Alright. Looks like half of their armies sort of came out on the wing here. Maybe going for an envelopment, but holy damn, I think the Tyrells are just getting absolutely slaughtered in this battle. Half of them already breaking. Their massive what appeared to be an armor advantage just did not go their way, and they've been completely crushed. In about 20 seconds, their entire line of 1,000 men has been reduced to under 100. That is insane. Alright, guys. Let's move on to the cavalry round and see how it goes. Remember, they've got to win 2 out of 3 rounds. Who do you think's going to win? Type in the comments below. Drop a like, comment, subscribe if you're new here. Alright, everybody. Are you ready? Brynden the Blackfish, Tully, leading his army of Tully horsemen against the great knights of the Flower. Alright, here they come. I'm not going to lie, once again... Whoa, look at that. They're like a mobile shield wall. That is cool looking. Now, these guys are heavily armored, and they are much higher tier. But does that matter? Will that make a huge difference? They're going to get in here, and they're going to engage in a straight-up brawl. Hacking and slashing at each other, trying to determine who is the greater warrior. In close quarters combat, the knights have skewered their lances into their enemies, and are now drawing swords to determine this battle. The flags of House Tyrell waving in the wind. The House Tully sigils being washed away. Who will win this decisive battle? Oh my goodness. Boys and girls, it looks like House Tully is getting spanked by the superior armored warriors of House Tyrell. Absolutely insane. This is not what I expected. Well, I mean, it is. It is entirely what I expected, my guys. Look at the armor on these guys, right? Don't get me wrong. Some of the Tyrell characters... What is that? What is that? Cape? Oh my god. They're all funky looking. See, look. They have the weird shape buff. You can't lose when you have the weird shape buff. Cool cavalry buff is in effect, and the house... oh no, the fishies are getting absolutely destroyed. Some of them, I believe, now attempting to flee the field. Yep. And just like that, guys, House Tyrell has crushed their enemy in the cavalry round. Absolutely insane. Woo! Let's go next, boys. Alright, guys, here we are in the archer battle with the Great Riverlands army facing off against the Reach. Now, the Tully longbow is definitely well known. We have the Blackfish back here preparing to assist, leading his men to victory, he hopes. And on the far side here, we have possibly my favorite kitted out unit in the entirety of this mod, the Tyrell Champions. These guys, honestly, I think will win this purely out of their armor advantage. They have the cool buff. Look at this. the flowers versus the fishes, but these flowers are well dressed. Alright, these are some well dressed flowers. They also have longbows, so their range is equivalent. They are led by Garland Tyrell. Garland the Gallant. Here's that close range firing going out as the Tullys attempt to fall back their line. We don't know who's going to win this. If it comes down to a close range engagement, we could see a win from the Tyrells because they've all got these long bill hooks, while these boys have got their little their swords. They're doing quite well there. They're skirmishing. We've got one side in a loose formation skirmishing back, and they are doing a lot of damage to House Tyrell. But we saw this in the last round. We saw what happens if this army gets on top of the Riverlands here. They could cause a lot of damage and even win, even with the massive damage they've already taken. Once these billhooks come out and they're in range, they could cause a lot of damage. Like they're actually breaking already. The Riverlands kited them out and crushed them. Insane. That is not what I expected at all. Look at all of the dead, beautiful soldiers. Their cool buff was not enough to save them, and Garland has fallen. His horse was absolutely skewered, and he lies buried beneath it. His head crushed by his own horse's ass. Oh my god. Let's move on to the tournament screen, guys. Alright, everybody. Very unexpected turn of events. Words are hard. The Lysine winning out over the Mirish. The forces of the East having their battle and coming out victorious. And House Tully absolutely slaughtering the Tyrells. Definitely not what I expected. In the next 2 episodes, we'll have the Night's Watch against the Bravosi. We'll have Aegon's Targaryens against the Volantines. The Dothraki against the Free Folk. The Night's Watch against Stannis Baratheon. Not the Night's Watch. The White Walkers against Stannis Baratheon. Just what he always thought his role in the world would be. The Norvoshi against the Pentoshi. And the Kohoric against the Sarnori. So the clashes of the East and the Weird will be coming up in the next few days, guys. Tune in, subscribe, like the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now, not forever.